Hey, Pastor Tom here, and it is now Wednesday of Holy Week. Again, to remind you, Holy Week is that week that we observe and think about what God did for us by sending his Son, offering his life as an atoning sacrifice for our sins, that we could truly know life and salvation that comes because Jesus died for our sins and rose again on that Easter Sunday morning. Hey, how often have you thought about that Wednesday of Holy Week? Some of you might have been to a service on a Thursday or a Good Friday service, but what about that Wednesday? You know, Wednesday of Holy Week actually has two names. It's called Holy Wednesday, but it's also called Spy Wednesday as well. The day begins in the way almost every day starts during Holy Week. Jesus wakes up in the Mount of Olives there with all the disciples, and they go down into Jerusalem, and he teaches in the temple. Now, we're told in the Gospels that people are waiting, every day waiting to hear from Jesus and to see him and to spend time with him. But this day, Wednesday, after Jesus teaches, he says this. When he had finished saying all these things, he said to his disciples, "As you know, the Passover is 2 days away." That's how we know this is Wednesday of Holy Week. "And the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified." Jesus knew what was going to happen just a couple days away. He knew that his life was going to be taken from him. And he's reminding the disciples. But you know what? They seem to forget. They push it out of their minds. They don't want to focus on that reality. And let me just remind you, if you count yourself as a disciple of Jesus, you cannot forget about the significance of the death of Christ and his resurrection. That's why we're walking through every day of this Holy Week, to walk with Jesus and remember what he's been through and where he's going as he walks through these days. You might remember yesterday, on Tuesday, I shared with you that the chief priests and the leaders of the people, they were looking for a way to put Jesus to death, and they couldn't find it. But you know, it was this day, Holy Wednesday. It's the reason why it's called Spy Wednesday, is because they found a way on this Wednesday. Matthew 26:14. One of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. And from then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over. Imagine the emotional toll it takes on Jesus to know that he's rejected by one of his own disciples. He understands that Judas has been with him, walked with him, seen everything, and yet Judas betrays him. It's really on this Holy Wednesday, this Spy Wednesday, that we see exactly what's going to happen. Jesus tells them, "I'm going to be betrayed and crucified." And we see the means by which it's going to happen. You know, in this moment, imagine the adversity that Jesus was facing and how he looked to it, how he took it head on. You know, a lot of us in these difficult days of this pandemic are facing adversity. We're facing making decisions. We're facing looking at our lives through a whole new lens. I want to call you in this time that you are also going through adversity to stand up, to look with faith, just as Jesus did, to the future, that you might also pray, "Not my will, Father, but your will be done." Let's be the people of Jesus Christ who stand up in a crisis. Let's be the ones who are calm in the midst of chaos to do the will of God together. Take some time today. Pray, meditate, think about Jesus facing his own death with strength, courage, and resolve. We are his disciples. We are called to be like Christ. Thank you so much for tuning in today on this Wednesday of Holy Week. I'll see you tomorrow for a very special video talking about Maundy Thursday. See you tomorrow. God bless you.